Hello and welcome back to Deus Ex Human Revolution Director's Cut, the Let's Play Blind with Rambler. Right then, so this is my Praxis stats screen, as you can see. We had a lot of Praxis points given back to us at the end of this DLC. Basically all the ones we've acquired so far, and on top of that the ones we gained during the DLC, which I thought was kind of cool in the end, and kind of makes the DLC worth it in its own special way. So I'll give credit to the DLC. It was a good sort of side story that actually has some relevance as to what's going on, but I like how it was handled at the end. So I was a bit dubious to begin with, I will say that, but now it's actually like, yeah, fair enough, that's kind of cool. So awesome, thanks game, appreciate it. And I think that's about it in terms of this. We can actually leave. So I better show you my inventory as well. Not that you really care or anything, but this is where it stands, or what it stands, or what it is when it stands, over where it stands, if it's standing at all. Point being is there it all is. So yes, pretty much most of our kit is back, plus you know, bits and bobs we had before. So without further ado, let's get into our stasis pod and let's carry on with the main game. And we gained another few experience points for that as well.
It's done. Exactly as you instructed.
And yet you sound disappointed. You think we should have handled this differently?
I think we had a valuable asset in our hands, and we're letting him slip away.
Oh no!
He could have been very useful in the coming storm.
A hand does not need to be clenched tightly to maintain its hold on someone. Jensen carries too much baggage right now. His obsession with Reed only serves to distract him.
We could have told him the truth.
Dun dun
By
dun!
himself. And when he does, if you have followed my instructions precisely, we will know how to find him.
Assuming he lives that long.
Well, way to spoil the bloody ending or climax of this game, DLC. Wait until he learns the truth. Trust me, it's really sinister and it's not going to be very cool on the player, yo. Thanks for that. You've really totally ruined all suspension now of that. A few days later. Apologies for the dogs barking in the background. They should quiet down in a bit. My parents, you see, they're sitting outside enjoying the nice sun for the evening, but my dogs are very attached to them and they will bark at anything and everything. So yeah. God, he must be very cold in there. I mean, I know he's mostly augmentation, so maybe his body temperature's regulated in a way where it's not bothered, but still. Oh, really, dogs? So sorry about the dogs, by the way. It's getting worse. I'll have to go down and shut them up in a minute. I'm very sorry about this, ladies and gentlemen.
Any chance you're still there?
Jensen, my God, you've been offline for days. Where the hell?
Oh no, my parents have come in to sort them out. Phew!
I was hoping you'd tell me.
I'm pinging you now. You're in Singapore.
Oh right, okay. I think that's where we were going.
Something's wrong, Jensen. I pinged you, and a second later, I lost your GPL signal. It's like you disappeared into a black hole.
Bloody hell, that's extreme, isn't it?
Well, obviously. If you can find the transmitter and take it offline, I'll be able to track you. And keep you on a tighter leash.
I've got more important things to do than help you keep tabs on me. If Megan and her team are here, there's no time to waste.
Well, that's great and all that, but the point being is, as the DLC told us, there's something evil and sinister about Reed in the first place. Though, to be fair, I had my suspicions in the first place, just from the article readings and what have you, in terms of the fact that she's found this thing that makes us, well, makes ourselves immortal to... No, they've got an immortal property where if you have augmentations, they won't get themselves destroyed without that drug and all that MacGuffin. Or they don't need the drug that everyone's on in order to keep that happening. But the point being is that, yeah, I'm sure it's to do with us. Like, she found it within us and she's been using us all this time, so... I don't know. Either way, we'll find out. It's obviously not going to end well for Jensen and Reed, so... In the meantime, let's do some hacking of the old-fashioned terminals. Oh boy. But we've actually upgraded everything. In fact, I've upgraded more on this than I meant to. But hey, we can do. So basically, we've now got all the information we need up front, which is kind of cool. So let's just go for it. Probably going to get detected straight away, though. No, we didn't. Cool. Right, we do need to go for the red things though, because the red things are worth it. They give you more bonus stuff if you take them out.
Access
Yay! See, we got more EXP, and we got more credits and all that kind of MacGuffin. Right, what be in here then? Absolutely nothing, Chief. Just rubbish bags and pallets and cones. You know, the typical things you need for a good Saturday night out with the cleaners. Bless those souls. Oh well, or a revolver. What's the point? I don't need all of this MacGuffin. I did the DLC, yo. It's kind of cool how they spliced the DLC into the main story, though, because if we hadn't done the DLC, we'd have just woken up in the stasis pod a few days later. So it's kind of cool how they had to splice it in, and maybe that's all they could do, to be honest with you. I like it. I think it worked fine in the grand scheme of things. Either way, we need to find. Oh, the dogs are upstairs now. We need to find this transmitter. So I'm not sure if if it's on our radar or not. It doesn't really say, which is interesting. Perhaps it's a bonus objective, or maybe there's alternative levels to this place. Well, there is. Right. Oh, well, still no transmitter though. Guess we have to go exploring for it, maybe? Honestly, don't know. Oh well. Either way, we'll chuck a save state down here, and then if I miss it, you can let me know later on, and I can always go back. Okay. Oh god, I'm yawning again. Sorry. Oh, I don't know. Compulsive yawner could be an underlying medical condition, or it just could be that I'm yawning. I'm sorry. I do apologise. Right. Anyway. Have a look. Oh.
How do you know? Walter told me he's home talking to the Queen. I'm sure she was probably barking orders at him again. Looks like this show was packed with A-listers now. The question is, what's headlining?
Things will be a lot easier if Darrow was still around. Anyway, I better get back to storage in case he decides to spring a surprise inspection on us.
Good idea.
Okay. Does Darrow not like you when you're not in storage? Drag his body. Drag his body. No, don't do that. No, I want you to drag the body. There we go. Just round this corner. There we go. Neat. Okay, so let's take care of that guy then. I think we got away with that. Sweet. Now, he did have a pocket secretary on him, so let's see what it says. Jenkins, this is the last time I'm going to send you the code for your barracks dormitory. I don't care if you have to carry this around in a POC or if you plaster it backwards across your own damn face. You have to look at it every time you see yourself in the mirror. Remember the damn code. 1385. 1385. Yeah, just so then in case you get infiltrated and knocked out by the infiltrator himself or herself, they won't have the password. Because I'll look at that and go, that can't obviously be the password to whatever it is that he needed to remember the password for, because that's just too damn obvious. I don't know. Oh. Okay. He hasn't seen us yet. Oh, he's coming this way. Go! Oh, look at that! Right in the Nadgers. If the Nadgers was in the heart area. You know what I mean. Don't need combat rifle ammo game. How many times do we have to have this conversation? I.e. probably once, because we haven't actually had it yet. Ah, dear. Oh, there's more bad guys around. Right, okie doke. Oh, they're inside the building. That's fine. That's fine. It's fine. As long as they can't see me and I can't see it. Ooh, all good. Ooh, there's a thing there. Alright, looks like a gap. You know what? I'll take it. Christ, I hate it when it crashes down like that, because it makes so much noise, it's ridiculous. Actually, no, that's not ridiculous. That's what large dumpsters would do if you were to pick them up and then drop them on the ground. They would make a noise. Why is that ridiculous, Neo? I don't know, says Neo Rambler number 1. That's right, Neo Rambler number 2 said. Wait, what? What? You're ridiculous, Neo Rambler number 1, said Neo Rambler number 2. Please stop talking about this before you lose conscious and making sense of yourself like you already have. Final 27 Square Snks. Is that NX or Snks? I'm going to assume it's Square Enix. Final Fantasy 27. So they actually honestly believe they're going to get up to Final Fantasy 27. What are they on now? Final Fantasy 15? Seriously, after Final Fantasy 13, guys, and even Final Fantasy 14, yeah. I do like the Final Fantasy games, but I'm not an old school Final Fantasy player. I've played them since 8 was the first one I played, which I liked for a bit, but now that I'm older and I've seen otherwise, yeah, it's rubbish. But I like the moves and the things you can do, like the super moves you can get on it, are pretty awesome. And I like the animations of all the super moves you can do, like all the really over-killing spells like Apocalypse and Ultima and all that. They look so cool. And then I played Final Fantasy 9, and I enjoyed that, but I never finished it because it got a bit dull towards the end. But I like Final Fantasy 9, that was a good game. Played 10 with my brother, or my brother played it and I watched him. Like 10. It's a guilty pleasure. It is a terrible game, but it's a guilty pleasure. Whoa. Talking about Final Fantasy, and already I'm being a bit unsneaky, but I can do this because I forgot I've got this now. Yeah. Oh no, I don't need to hack it. Don't need to hack it. Ah, no. Back up, back up, back up. Run, 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 run. Close, close it, close it. But yeah, sorry, I'll have to redo that again. But the point being is yeah, I played. Well, no, my brother played Final Fantasy X, and I played it with him when I was very young, mind you. I think I was about 13, 14 at the time, and he was like 10, 11, and it was good. Really enjoyed it. Sod, you didn't notice that? Fair play. But yeah, we really enjoyed it. It isn't a good Final Fantasy game, and it's not a very good game in general, but it does have some cool moves and cool animations, and if you're young and stupid like we were, me and my bro, not saying I'm stupid technically now, it's good. It was a good game, and I have a soft spot for it. Then I bought 10-2 by myself, and that was the first game I played in a long time together, and 10-2 I really enjoyed. Proper soft spot for that. I spent about 200 hours on that game altogether, trying to get all the bonus stuff and all that. And that was the first Final Fantasy game where I actually had to go at the super bosses. Hey all, just finished the OC3 repairs on the radar tower. We were losing comstat between the receiving antenna's effective aperture and the scattering coefficient. I increased the gain of the relay antenna and replaced the transmitter's power supply. Pattern propagation factors should be normal, or nominal, but I'm going to continue running tests on the radar cross-section. In the meantime, our signal-to-noise ratio should be back into normal operating ranges. For anyone who needs access to a code, it's 011, because every bloody other bloody thing has got this passcode attached to it. Grrr. These as credit chips though. But yeah, 10-2, really enjoyed 10-2, but then again I was again a young teenage lad and a bit interested in the ladies, shall we say. So there was a lot of fan service in 10-2 that if you're a young teenage lad who's heterosexual, then yeah, you'll spend a long time on that. So yeah, but I still enjoyed it as a game. I thought it was a good conclusion to 10, even though again it's really stupid, but I did like 10 too. It's better than 10 I think personally. A little bit different, but really enjoyed it. And then that was it. I borrowed 12 off a mate. I enjoyed 12 again, but never finished it because I got caught up in the side stuff, and then I had to give it back to him because he wanted it back to play himself. But yeah, it was good. I really did. I really did enjoy it. Wait, reload speed upgrade. That might be quite useful actually. Don't want to make room for that. I can do that. Right. I'll drop this EMP mine because I'm never going to use it. Oh, yeah, we need more than that, don't we? Let's have a look. Said Jerry Wheeler. Yeah. Brooklyn Rage. Right. I think we can use this. Yes, we can. Oh, with the rocket launcher or the pistol. Decisions, decisions. I want to keep the rocket launcher, mind you. But the pistol might be worth it a bit more for now. But cool. Excellent. Nice. Right, anyway. Where was I at? Oh, yes. Yeah, 12. I actually enjoyed 12. Again, I know narrative and main story-wise doesn't really make that much sense, but yeah, it was pretty cool. I like the different gameplay style to it. I didn't think I'd actually enjoy the different gameplay style compared to the original, where it wasn't really turn-based. It was more like a sort of action-based game. It had sort of slight turn-based combat in it, but it was like real-time turn-based combat, and you sort of freely moved around, and then enemies would pop up and you would go straight into battle as opposed to like a proper turn-based battle. So it was more like in-the-moment type thing. It was good. I enjoyed it. It grew on me, and I really liked it. And I liked the... Uh-oh. Have I gone to upset someone? No, I haven't. I really liked it. It was good. But I never finished it. That was the downside. I heard apparently I got to the point where the narrative was getting a bit silly, because the narrative for 12 kind of loses focus on the main character a little bit. Like, you don't really know who the main character is towards about halfway through the game, and it's not quite who you think it's going to be, considering the game starts with two other characters and makes a big fuss about the original two characters of the game, and then it turns out that they're not really that important after all, and it's like, what? So yeah, as a narrative it was a bit messy, but it was a really cool immersive world, and I liked exploring and fighting the creatures. The creatures were awesome in it, and I liked the entire story. It was good. as in the sort of world involved in the story. And then yeah, and then 13 came along, and I bought that, and I was excited when my original PS3, the 60 gig PS3 I bought in the UK, broke down sadly. I got a new one through the game store in the UK, because I had a warranty on it where I could do that, or game insurance. They were very good. They tried to fix it, failed, and then they did the soldering thing on the 60 gig PS3 because it used to overheat, and I know I overheated it because I put it in a location where it couldn't get proper air circulation. It got a good hammering out of it. You know, so that was my fault, but I didn't know that at the time. It's only after, like, you know, life progressed that I realised what had gone wrong. And then I got the slim PS3, but then I got Final Fantasy 13 with it. And I was like, oh, cool beans, yeah, new PS3 console, Final Fantasy 13, yeah. Got the superior version because it was on one Blu-ray disc, as the Xbox 360 version had 2 discs, maybe 3, can't remember how many discs it had. And I thought, oh, brilliant, I can't wait, it's going to be awesome, it's going to be amazing. How cool is this game going to be? And it turned out to be the biggest piece of absolute rubbish that ever existed. Seriously, Final Fantasy 13 sucked. And I mean sucked. And I'm not saying that in retrospect because a lot of people have said it sucked. No, I played for 80 hours that whole game, and it really, really sucked. I hated it. Yeah, I wasn't very happy with it. One remote designated explosive device. No, I'd rather have the EMP mine, if you don't mind, because I think that might be useful for a later date. Don't ask me why, I just have a hunch, shall we say. But yeah, no, I really... Solid, fine, I picked up the Hypersyn and we'll keep that instead, that might be even more useful. But yeah, no, 13 really sucked. But it didn't stop me from buying 13 Part 2. Oh yeah, I bought 13 Part 2, alright. Or 13.2 as it was called. Why did I do that? And to be fair, 13.2 sucked, but it was a bit more interesting because you were able to capture monsters on 13.2 and turn them into Pokemon, and it was really cool. Ah, that's the signal jammer. Sweet.
You
Nice.
must have done something, Jensen. 4 of our GPL signals just popped up, including yours. Koss, Colvin, Faraday. I'm not picking up Dr. Reed.
Send me the coordinates you do have. And Pritchard, tell Sarah.
I can't. While you were incommunicado, Mr. Darrow invited him,
Oh, Hugh Darrow.
Taggart, and the UN delegates to Panchaea. They're halfway to the Arctic by now.
But you can't contact them by... You can't contact them via, like, I don't know, a mobile phone or a text message or an email or something? Like, trust me, you know, in present day time, 2016, I know this game is set in an alternative timeline, admittedly, but 2016 of this timeline, it doesn't matter where anybody is. If they've got a phone or something and it's an urgent message, you can get through to them. And to be fair, they'd rather know about an urgent situation, even if it annoys them or makes them all like, Rush, what? Can't you see I've got an important business meeting going to it? I'm going to make billions. Yes, but your wife has broke her toe. What? I'll be there shortly. Don't let her leave the house. I'll be there. Don't worry. You know, people will do that, you know. So yeah, that's a bit of a weak excuse game. Oh yeah, they're halfway across Panchaea right now. Admittedly, you could argue, oh well, maybe they don't have signal. You know, fair enough, there is that. But don't really buy that. I think that's a bit of an excuse. But anyway, whatever. Point being is, I've got off a tangent now. Well, at least I got off a tangent, going back on a tangent. Oh, God darn it! I'm gonna take over that guy. Go, go, go!
Access granted.
From Bell Hall to Jean Tokoro. Rumours. Man, you should hear some of the crazy... Get out of the way, XP meter, thank you. Rumours about this place. I was down near Caton Plaza in the city during my leave last weekend, checking in on my kids back home at some internet cafe. Anyway, there was these 2 locals behind me talking about the ranch. They were going on about the whole Versa Life / WHO bird flu outbreak. Oh, World Health Organization. That wiped out half the country a few years ago or something. Yeah, I know about that. They put bird flu in vaccines and they were going to use that in the UK to spread bird flu through the swine flu vaccines until a couple of scientists in Italy, Switzerland and Germany actually found out that that was going on, although whether it was done on purpose or not, or whether it was contamination, well, we don't really know. And they managed to stop the batches from going to the people just in time. Anyway, whatever. Conspiracy or not, don't know. Not going to say. Anyway, all of a sudden they start whispering, saying it was all part of some crazy conspiracy theory. Yeah, I told you! It might be. By the government to test a new biological warfare weapon. They think it even has something to do with that whole SARS thing 20 years ago. See? See, you think I make all this conspiracy stuff up, and the people who watch this who know me, you think I make all this up? Look, this game is one of the most critically acclaimed games of all time. Okay, that's a lie. It's a very well known game, and it got generally good reviews. But point being is look at this. Did they make this up coincidentally like I did? I didn't contact Square Enix or the developers of this, Eidos Montreal, and tell them all this stuff. No, they found this all out by themselves. And they put it in because they knew, oh, well, it's a fictional game. No one will believe it. It's a conspiracy theory. But it's there. You know, if more than one thing's saying the same thing, there must be some weight to it, but whatever. Anyway, apparently the ranch is actually owned by the Chinese, and this is all part of some crazy population control scheme. There's even websites devoted to this crap. Ha, it's like we're in the new Area 51 or something. Maybe, Bill, you're right. From Trevor to Amiga, priority, loading bay C, cleanup. Can someone from maintenance get down to loading bay C and clean up the old DCI lab equipment? That poop is useless and is only taking up valuable space. I'm even starting to get complaints from engineering that some of the seals on the viral coolants are leaking. That poop needs to go, man, before we all turn into zombies. I hate zombies. Interesting. Right, anyway. Where was I with my Final Fantasy story? Oh yes, Final Fantasy 13 sucks, but I still bought 13 too, and I did complete that one. Actually, no, I completed 13 as well. But I did actually went and bothered to complete 13 too. I don't know why, don't ask, I just did. But yeah, that was it. The one cool thing about 13.2 was that you could actually use the monsters in the game, or the fiends or whatever, as like Pokemon. You could actually capture them in a sort of crystal thing, and you can use them as your own teammate. And I always and have always had a sort of passion or love for the Tomberry. And 13.2 has Tomberries. It has two types. It has a regular Tomberry, and I think I can't remember what Tomberry it was called. It wasn't the Mega Tomberry. It was something Tomberry. Don Tomberry, that was it. And I always had the regular Tomberry, because the Don Tomberry was like a sort of albino colour, and well, it still looked cool and all that. It was actually generally weaker than the regular Tomberry, although it had some special abilities, but it would poison you when you used it, and it was like, really, why? You know, silly. Anyway, but there was all that, and then wait, oh, there's a thing there. Oh, I didn't realise that. Oh god, run, quick. We made it. Phew. Oh, wait, but there was a box there. Oh, snap. I was talking about Final Fantasy. I know, Final Fantasy 13 sucked, but you don't have to get upset about it, yo. It's cool, bro. Anyway, yeah, no, yeah, you can have Tomberry as a weapon. I just bought it. I just bought it really so I could do that. I ended up spending about 60 hours to the point where I could do that, ridiculously. But you know, it was cool. And then I did that, and I enjoyed that game for that. And then eventually I got bored with the Tomberry thing and all that. But you know, it had that, so the game was still cool, and it had a lot of DLC and. It had a lot of DLC and all kinds of other stuff, so it wasn't like as if it was a really bad game, but story-wise it was no better than 13. And then I actually... Damn it! I'm not getting angry, it's just my luck. It's my luck. I'm just going to see how much I can hack before we get into trouble. It's almost there. I'm going to have to pause them for a minute. But yeah, no, it wasn't a very good story. And then, do you know what? I should have stopped then, shouldn't I? I should have not bothered to buy 13 Part 3 Lightning Returns or whatever it was called. But I did. I bought it, and I still have all 3 copies of the game. I never finished 13.3. I got like about what, an hour into it, and because it was a radically different game compared to the other ones, I just couldn't. I didn't care. I just stopped playing it. I should have traded it in, and I didn't, because I knew it wasn't worth anything when I bothered. I just looked at the story, literally the story for that game, and it was ridiculous. Like seriously, it was ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Can we get out of there? Yeah, we can. Sweet. It was stupid, like really stupid, and it ended really stupidly as well. So in the end, I was kind of glad I didn't bother with it. Oh, the weather's terrible. Whoa, hello. So yeah, so there's my story of Final Fantasy games for you if you're interested or not. Probably not, but I've told it anyway, so it's up to you. But yeah, it certainly could have been. It could have been different. It could have been something special, but. Yeah, the ones I enjoyed the most were 7, although I have to say 7 isn't the best. I really enjoyed it up until the last part of Disc 3, well, at least Disc 3, and then after that it was so bad. Like, it was such a disappointing climactic ending. Apart from the bit when you fight the main bad guy, like in a weird shadow thing. It was like, you fight the last boss, you beat the last boss, and then it goes to this like weird sort of like alternative black dimension, and it's just you, the main character, versus your ultimate enemy, but in both your normal human forms. And then it's like a really simple battle, but it's really dramatic and all that, and it's really dark and scary. That's kind of cool. I liked that bit. But then after that, it has like the worst ending imaginable. It gets to the point at the end of the game where everything is literally on a knife's edge, whether everything's going to work out or not. Like, everything's come to the wire, and it looks like as if everything's going to go to pot and it's all gone wrong. Or maybe not, we don't know. And you think, God, how's it going to end? How's it going to end? And then all of a sudden it goes like, oh, you don't want to know about that. Let's skip 400 and something odd years into the future, and let's see one of the other side characters, who's like a red dog thing, run down some sort of valley rock pathway with his offspring or something. And then, yeah, he looks over and there's this wonderful sort of utopic paradise-like grass Babylon island garden place. You have no idea where it's come from, what it is, whether it's the island or the place that you were originally playing as or whatever. And then it just ends, and you're like, wait, did they live? Did they survive? Did it all go to pot? Did they die? I imagine from what they did, it was kind of like an ambiguous thing. You could argue... Oh no, I didn't get caught. That's bull rubbish. Go on, kill me. I'm trying to go stealthy. Ah, I should have put the stealth on. My bad. But yeah, thank you, plane. My house is not a bloody airline thing. It's not a air highway or anything. That doesn't happen very often. Bloody planes. I know, obviously, we don't have any say on the matter, but still. Ugh. But, yeah, it just had a really bizarre ending, and I guess they were trying to make it as sort of ambiguous as possible, so you could decide for yourself whether they all lived or not, and therefore the future is just sort of like, well, they lived, and it's 400 years in the future, and that's why it's all paradisical, the end. Or, no, they all died, and then from the deaths of everyone, the ashes were reborn, and then you got this Paradise Island, and for some reason one of the dog side characters survived. And that's it, and you're like, okay then. Oh, what the hell? I was in stealth mode! Feck off! Not happy about that. Fine. We'll do it your way, game. I'll go knock out the guys. I didn't want to do it because I've wasted enough time as it is tangenizing about the Final Fantasy because of the stupid Final Fantasy 27 poster. I know it's only a joke from Square Enix, but at the same time I don't think it is. I honestly think they legitimately think they can get to that number in the game. If they can, in my lifetime, or at least getting close to that in my lifetime before I die, I'd be impressed. But, you know, how many games left have they got? They're coming out with 15, 12 games, 5 years apiece. Now I'll be long dead by the time it gets to 27. I don't think they'll get that far. I wonder if I can just take them both out. Yeah, I'm still hostile. Oh no, I got out of it. We're okay. I probably still got detected though, but oh well, whatever. That'll do. That'll do. I'm not going to get any more sort of like panicky about it. But yeah, no. I'll be long dead before 27. But yeah, 15 though. I mean, the trailers and the footage I've seen, it originally was going to be Final Fantasy Versus 13, a PlayStation 3 exclusive. Damn it. So it was going to be a PlayStation 3 exclusive. And then it wasn't, so... yeah. I don't know. I mean, it looks interesting, but after 13... We'll see. We'll see. You never know. It might still be like a terrible story or something, but it might still be a terrible story or something, but it might still be a terrible story or something, but you never know. It might have some merit. Oh, come on. Ow. Okay. Not quite. Oh, come on! It was oh man, it was point blank and everything. How can you miss? Ugh. Oh well. Yeah, no, it's I don't know. 15 looks interesting. We'll see how it goes. I'm not going to buy it straight away. I'll wait till the reviews come in and what people think. It's probably for the best. Oh! Get on, buddy.
Hey, what happened?
What do you think happened, buddy? In the butt, in the butt. Right, I'll sort this guy out now. Yeah, there's no point being stealthy, it is what it is. Screw it. As long as we can knock him out. Your accuracy is amazing, sir. I'm sure if you just keep standing there, shooting vividly and wildly like that, I'm going to get hit behind my cover. Admittedly, my cover is just a wooden crate, and with enough bullet power from you, I'm sure you could splinter it to death, but still. Hopefully I don't miss this time. But yeah, I don't know. It looks impressive. It really does. Graphically, it looks impressive. And I'll give Final Fantasy 13 credit. Graphically, it was a beautiful looking game. It was a really beautiful looking game. And... I thought that was the alarm going off. It was... Oh, what the hell? Is that turret? Oh, it was a turret. Oh, silly me. But yeah, it does look beautiful, so we'll see. But I'll wait for reviews to come through. Don't expect me to do an LP of it either, because Final Fantasy games just go on forever, and I'm not going to LP a Final Fantasy game. I have toyed with the idea in the past, but no, I'm not going to do it. Unless there's like a huge demand for it. And I mean huge. I'm not just talking like 1 or 2 people. I'm talking at least 30, 40, 50 people. It ain't going to happen. But I know that that is never going to happen anyway, so that's why I'm saying that. I'm not saying that thinking, yeah, I'll definitely get 30 or 40 or 50 people for me to get to play Final Fantasy. No, it won't happen. I know that for a fact. That's why I'm exaggerating, saying, yeah, you better get 30, 40, 50 people, preferably 50. And then I'll play it. It won't happen. It will not happen. So yeah. Anyway, point being is I'm safe from that. So until then, now that I've finished telling you my story, let's get on with this, because I've been a bit distracted. We haven't really made that much progress. Due to my own stupidity, mind you. And I'm not going to criticise the game for what it is. That was just me being silly. I'm not paying attention. I knew it. Come on, go. Oh no. We're screwed. Quickly! Nuke it. And then nuke it.
Access granted.
That was rubbish. So we did it there. Right, and all for a turret that we really... Wait, that's not a turret, that's a robot. Disable the robot. Disable the turret. Disable the camera. Ooh, okay, fair enough. No, I take it back. I thought that was just going to be for that turret, but no. Camera and a robot. Not taking any chances, bruh. Not taking any chances. The only other thing I liked about Final Fantasy, like as the last thing, was apart from 8 and 7's move thing, I like 7 for the story. Again, till the end. The ending was a bit crap, but it didn't mean to say that the story wasn't bad. The story was really good up until that point. That's it. I want to get over. Oh, because I kept thinking that was a hole in the wall, and it wasn't. That's my bad. Sorry. It wasn't crap, but the story was pretty interesting and pretty damn well written for a Japanese RPG game. Yeah, the ending was rubbish. But apart from that, I liked the side content you could do in 7, and I like the fact that if you really spent all that time doing all of the side stuff, and you had to spend a lot of time doing a lot of bull rubbish. Although, again, some of the side content in Final Fantasy 7 is fun. If you really wanted to get like the ultimate side content and side content rewards, you had to go through... What was that? What was that? Was that a coincidence? Biohazard? Oh no. Okay. I'm ready. Yeah, it was the side content, and I managed to get the Knights of the... I can't remember what it was called, the magic move you could do, Knights of the something. And it just went on for like 2 or 3 minutes. Like when you announce the attack, it's probably one of the coolest animated attacks you can do in any RPG game that I know to date. I'm sure there's cooler ones out there than that, but you know, in my limited experience with RPG games, it's amazing. I think it's called Knights of the Realm or Knights of the Seven or something like that. I can't remember exactly, but it's an amazing attack, and you do all this bull rubbish to get it. And I mean, you have to do so much bull rubbish to unlock it. But once you do, oh boy, it is so satisfying. It's unbelievable. It's so cool. I loved it. It really was amazing. So it's definitely worth checking out if you get a chance, if you haven't already, or just watch a YouTube video of it. But it's so cool. It was such a satisfying feeling. Boom! Shakalaka. I know, I shouldn't have said that. It was a bad joke. But yeah, no. That's my story. That's my entire story now. Final Fantasy 7 and Final Fantasy in general. You know, should have finished 9, really, maybe, but I think it's because the ending actually went in a direction that I didn't like. Although I should have given the game a chance to let it finish it, and maybe it would have been interesting. But I did. I remember getting bored. But I still think the game up to that point was good, and I should go and play it again. And then 10 I enjoyed. It's a guilty pleasure. I'm not saying it's a good game by any stretch of the imagination, but it was. Oh, can I just speak to her? I guess I can just speak to her. I can. Right, I'm going to save it just so then I don't mess anything up. But yeah, and then 10-2 was my favourite.
Get the hell out! This lab is off limits to you people.
Nice to see you too, Dr. Goldman.
What? Wait a second. I know you. You were Seraph's security guy. Way to protect our asses.
Hey, check the attitude, Doc. I nearly died trying to save you.
Oh, and now you're here to take me back. Well, maybe I don't want to go. Maybe I've got more here than I ever had at Seraph.
Would Vasily Savchenko agree with that? They executed him and dumped his body in a ditch.
That's not true.
Believe it.
I was there. I did the dumping.
You're so brainwashed, you don't mind building their toys.
It wasn't a toy. It was a software upgrade that limits functionalities in a biochip. They told me it was.
Ooh, was that linked to? Was that linked to that upgrade that was happening at that centre, and we didn't go for it because apparently you guys said, "Oh, it's up to you whether you choose to have it or not."
Oh my god, I should have listened to him.
I was right to double guess it, if that's what it was.
But Dr. Reed's GPL isn't broadcasting.
She's in the secured zone. There are guards everywhere.
She's the final
Then
boss
I need a way
fight.
to get the
I don't know
guards
that, by
out.
the way. Disclaimer.
A distraction. Maybe a lab accident. What do you say?
Yeah, zombies.
To what those bastards did to Vasily.
What, you'll agree with what we said?
Of course. But one minor incident in this lab won't be enough.
No. But if a couple of other labs go up simultaneously.
Declan and Eric. Of course. Interesting idea, Mr. Jensen. Ambitious, but risky.
Well, at least you're on side.
Timing would be critical.
I'll coordinate the attack. But you understand that this could all backfire.
I'm no shrinking violet, Mr.
No,
Jensen,
no, you're not.
But there may be another issue.
They're tracking your GPLs, aren't they? I've been wondering how to get around that.
Smart man. Just like Vasily.
Maybe there's a
He
ditch
had a
for
plan
you
to
too.
shut down their tracking and jamming protocols using a virus. Maybe Declan or Eric know something more about it.
Why should I trust you? I'm sure. Yeah, that's true actually.
Dr. Colvin, I need to know I can trust you. You seemed pretty happy to be here until I told you about Dr. Savchenko.
It's been 6 months, Mr. Jensen. Not long for you, perhaps, but how long can a person live in constant fear?
It's quite a long time. Trust me,
Once they
I
took
know.
us out of isolation, it just seemed easier to concentrate on the work.
To be fair, if I was in your
You feel
position,
that
I'd probably
way.
done the same.
Vasily didn't. Maybe not Declan either, but the work we do here, the discussions, and the theories.
It's so orgasmic.
I thought Seraph's projects were far-reaching, but the experiments I've seen going on here, it's the kind of stuff DARPA dreams up every day.
Only without governmental oversight keeping you in line.
I suppose I'm just a typical scientist to you, right, Mr. Jensen? Blindly pushing boundaries? No care for who's footing the bill or how our discoveries get made?
Well,
We'll
yeah,
have to
question
live
mark.
with ourselves at the end of the day, Dr. Colvin.
You're right, of course. But were things so different in Detroit?
Probably not.
We all know where those Seraph contracts came from, don't we?
Yup.
You asked me if you could trust me. You can. But you better get on with this.
Didn't really actually give me a clear-cut answer there, Doc. I kind of think you're going to be a hole in the plan there, but yeah, I can deal with holes. I'm pretty good at it. I dig myself in them all the time. I'm like the ultimate self-digging hole guy there is on this planet. Neo Rambler is the ultimate self-digging hole guy. I would put money on that and say if there was anybody out there who would challenge my authority on being the ultimate self-digging hole guy on the planet, and I mean that in the figurative sense, as a real sense, no, I don't know, I suppose I could dig a hole with my hands on the beach pretty well, but point being is, yeah, if you think you can do worse than me, I challenge you to a self-digging hole duel. I promise you now, I would dig a hole way underneath you, and not only would I drag myself down, but I'll drag you down too. That's how good I am. I don't know why I'm proud of that, but I suppose I've got very little to be proud about. Point being is Doctor, I'm just saying, if anything goes wrong, he did. Mortally stunned. Anyway.
I haven't yet located Eric Koss, Dr. Colvin. Do you know where they're keeping him?
He's working in a lab on the 3rd floor. There's an elevator that might get you there. It's on the 2nd floor, though,
but
and
on
I
the
heard the guard
first.
say something about that floor being shut off.
Oh.
But then again, with those neuro enhancements of yours, you might find a way to get into it.
Because if you hadn't figured out by now, this game is all about alternative routes. But just in case you're near Rambler, which I am, you just need that reminding that there's alternative solutions to problems.
Dr. Faraday doesn't seem to be working in this building. Any idea where he is?
I think he's in the biomech lab next door.
Oh,
You
that's
have to
convenient.
go outside to reach him. There's a skywalk that connects the 2 buildings. Maybe you can use it.
You'll be in full view of every single guard in the facility, and they will try and shoot you down. But meh, you don't trust me, so sod you. Excuse me, right.
Okay, wait for my signal, Dr. Colvin. When your GPL starts to vibrate, set off the distraction.
But make sure
I
you don't get
understand.
distracted by the vibrations yourself.
I'm sorry for what I said earlier.
No, don't be sorry. It's okay. You can be who you want to be, Doc. I wasn't making fun of you and saying you were wrong or anything. Well, I was making fun of you, but I wasn't saying you were wrong. You can stand up for whatever you want. I got no balls with that. I'm just saying I need to be able to trust you to do the thing I need to do. But if you're going to be who you are and you want to betray me, then I understand. You'll just get one of these up your butt. That's all I'm saying. But if you want to do it, you can do it. Anyway, I'm going to snoop at your PC. From Vasily Shvenko to blah. Resist them, Nia. Nia, listen to me. You know what they're doing to us. You recognize the tactics. They're giving life by not taking it. That's a good point. Keeping us isolated so that their truth becomes everything. 1984. Don't you see the signs? Do not give in to them, because I have already not done. Oh, snap. From Megan Reed to Nia Colvin. I'm programming blind here. No, you're thinking too narrowly. The positioning of the processors is just a detail. It doesn't really matter. What matters is the input coming into the chip from the nervous system. That's what's generating the individual and or multi-threads you need to suppress. Focus on isolating those patterns and I think you might actually get somewhere. But if it makes you feel better, H told me Eric's designing the chip. You've worked with him long enough to know how he thinks. Yeah, Colvin wrote. I can't work like this, Megan. How do they expect me to write a program that will run on a biochip I haven't even seen a design for yet? That's a very good point. That is a really stupid thing for you to do. I need to know the layout of the processors, otherwise I can't determine which threads will be suppressed and which will be allowed to stay active. Instead of controlling the damn crowd, I might as well vary up inciting it into riot. All very good points, but Reed is alive because... Well, at least a version of Reed is alive because there's a reply to it, and that's a recent one. Oh, snap. Oh, she got some explaining to do. Damn it. Oh dear. That's really gone wrong, that has, hasn't it? Shouldn't have done that. Oh dear. I should not have done that, should I? Shoot! Oh boy. Oh well. That was going to happen, wasn't it? Okay, yeah, that was a bit stupid for me. Right, I'll tell you what I'm going to do is I am going to end the video here for now, because it's getting late my end, and I do need to get on with some work before I go to bed. So, in the next video, we shall go and meet the other two, see if they'll triangulate a plan to stop all this, and yeah, creepy. Very, very creepy. Is she on our side? Is it going to end tragically like the DLC sort of said it will do? Which I imagine the DLC's right, because it kind of came up post after the game, so yeah, question mark. Although, if I'm not much mistaken, the next Deus Ex game, which is Mankind's Divided, is the sequel to this one, but both of these are prequels to the original one. I might be wrong there, but I think that's how it's rolling. I don't know. If it is, then we've just got to play the original game and we'll find out how it went. But still, till then, can I say thank you very much for playing this, or playing this. If you have played this, thank you very much for playing it and enjoying it. I'm sure you enjoyed it. But if you've been watching this, can I say thank you very much for watching this. I hope you had fun with it like I have. I hope you enjoyed my little tangent story of Final Fantasy. And let me know what your thoughts are on Final Fantasy. Not in terms of me playing it, just your opinions on the series overall. And until then, take it easy, have a good one, hope you're well, and I'll see you in the next video.